I was speaking to a group of about 300 kids, ages 6 to 8, at a children's museum. And I brought with me a bag full of legs, similar to the kinds of things you see up here, and had them laid out on a table for the kids. And from my experience, kids are naturally curious about what they don't know or don't understand or is foreign to them. They only learn to be frightened of those differences when an adult influences them to behave that way and maybe censors that natural curiosity or reins in the question asking in the hopes of them being polite little kids. So, I just pictured a first grade teacher out in the lobby with these unruly kids saying, "Now, whatever you do, don't stare at her legs." When, of course, that's the point. That's why I was there. I wanted to invite them to look and explore. A call out to innovators outside the traditional medical prosthetic community to come bring their talent to the science and to the art of building a cover story. This started an incredible journey. Curious encounters were happening to me at the time. I've been accepting numerous invitations to speak on the design of the cheetah legs around the world. And people would come up to me after the conference, after my talk, men and women, and the conversation would go something like this. "You know, Amy, you're very attractive. You don't look disabled." I thought, well, that's amazing, because I don't feel disabled. And, it really opened my eyes to this conversation that could be explored about beauty. What does a beautiful woman have to look like? What is a sexy body? And interestingly, from an identity standpoint, what does it mean to have a disability? Pamela Anderson has more prosthetic in her body than I do. Nobody calls her disabled.
Brings a smile to everyone he meets, and we're pleased to present him with Senior Athlete of the Year.
And every time I come to the Endeavor Games, it's a place where we can embrace our differences, and it really motivates me to not only continue a happy life, and it gives me that drive to go and do these sports, and you guys motivate me.
On November 7th, 2003, a rocket-propelled grenade came into the rear of the truck that I was in and took both of my legs above the knees. I wanted to walk as I did before. I wanted to be myself again. I'd come to terms with what I thought my life was. Life in a wheelchair, with prosthetics that were uncomfortable and, in my mind, unfit to use for me. I still got a lot of help from my wife. I relied on others more than I would have liked. But, I got around on my own.
These young veterans have already left their mark on Washington. It's called Senate Amendment 564, and it offers traumatic injury insurance to active duty members of the service.
I rode across the country, crossing the country on a hand cycle, took a splash into the ocean, and celebrated, was happy to be finished. Was full of pride at what I'd done. I was unsure of my ability and what I was capable of, and would I come out here and work my butt off for the first week and get nowhere and be stuck in that chair. I was scared. It was worth it to try again. And the success ratio, I thought, the amount of experience and expertise that the hangar crew that I visited had, to me, was worth giving it another shot. Am I doing things that other people are not doing or think shouldn't be done or thought were impossible? Maybe. I'm driving with a clutch. I just think people should not limit you. Until you prove that you can't do it, there should be no limit. And if you prove that you can't do it, maybe you just didn't try hard enough, or you didn't have the right equipment. I'm proud of the things that I've done. I'm happy when I get to help out. I really enjoyed skiing. At the time, it was something that I could do independently and get out and ski and enjoy it and participate in it and just do it on my own. I didn't need anything handicap accessible. I just needed my monoski, and as long as I had my monoski, I was good. I know what's possible for me. What I do may be different than the next guy, and what the next guy does will be different than someone else. But I will say that it's worth working for. My life is better off now. I wouldn't have it any other way. If they give up, they'll never know the joy that they'll receive from getting something back that they thought they lost, like driving a manual transmission. No matter what it is. And I think there are things that are impossible. I haven't really found them yet. Found things that are different, but not impossible.